sludge in there. I had a load of rabbit shit in here. So it had rained and filled the barrel up. So basically for the last 3-4 weeks, it's made rabbit poop tea. So I just took a pitcher and watered the garden beds with that, and then came up here. We put a bunch of weeds in the compost bin, and it dawned on me, I'm really putting a ton of seeds on top of that compost that I'm going to use soon. So I'm kind of just pulling it out here, and I'm going to cover up this dead mud here, and maybe some of the seed will take here from driving over it and just mushing it in. Seems to be a lot of mud up here also from the rain the other day. We've got some just real sticky mud here, so I'm trying to cover that all up. I love using these 20-gallon and 13-gallon Rubbermaid containers, but they've become increasingly hard to get. They're actually really expensive now compared to what they were. I'm sure it dropped a ton of seed in here, but taking it out will at least prevent some of what would have happened, I think. I put a load up in here a couple days ago. One of my guys pulling a ton of weeds. I told him to dump that up here, and then I saw the volume and I thought, holy cow, I should do something else. So that's what this is. There's some I pulled out yesterday. So because this compost down here is pretty well done, it's ready to go. So yeah, there's going to be some seeds, but wherever we plant it, hopefully what we plant will shade it out, or if it's in nice groomed beds, we'll just pull it out one at a time. What do you think? Should I pull it or should I throw it? Pull it with the rake, throw it with the pitchfork. We'll try the rake. This rake is coming loose, considerably loose actually, which means it'll probably need a new pole. And I left this, or somebody left it where the dog could chew on it, so now it's pretty sharp. I don't think it even emptied, only a little bit of it. And I don't know, I might be totally making a mistake by dumping this all here, but I think at least if nothing else, it'll keep some of the sun off this raw dirt here. Most mornings I pull grass just around the garden and stuff, and this stuff that has come in this year is super hard to pull. You have to get real careful with it and get that root out of there, and it comes in like a blade at a time, and then around it is a ton of little tiny ones, so it takes some time to do it. See the engine braking? It just crawls down hills on this thing. Polaris Sportsman 850. We actually use very little kibble anymore, but with the puppy, just letting her have as much of this as she really wants, along with meat. We keep this inside, temperature controlled, so that it doesn't mold. This stuff, when we started buying, it was a 50-pound bag, and it was 50 bucks. Now it's a 47-pound bag, and it's 85 bucks. It's what our breeder, that's what they use, and our dogs have done great on it. When we started feeding this kibble to Magnus when he was a baby, the Pyrenees were getting a hold of it also. So we just started feeding it to all 3 of them, and these Pyrenees that are probably 7 years old, 8 years old right now, they started acting like they were 3 years younger. They would literally hop around and puppy play, and just, it was crazy to see. And the only change was the food, because they really weren't like loving on Magnus and around Magnus. Same with the puppy. When we put Hera up here, she kind of slept in the corner down here at the fence, because that's closest to where we were. She didn't want to be part of the pack. And when she would chase animals, the 2 bigger dogs would kind of put a beating on her. They actually bit through her ear. She has a scar that was punched completely through her ear, where one of them got a hold of her. And She's been here 3 weeks now, maybe 3 weeks, and now she's part of the pack. Like, she normally, if I'm down here, she knew right where I was and she would be right up my ass all the time. Now she's out doing whatever she's doing. I don't even know where she's at. I just came down to get some feed for her, because normally when I come in, here comes one, here comes the other. I don't even see her. Where you at? Come here. Doing something she's not supposed to be doing, maybe. Here she comes. Hellos. Hellos. Now with Magnus, this is what would cause a fight right here. I would come over here and pet Magnus, and this one or that one would, it was an attention thing. And you see how she just kind of jumped down as soon as the puppy got up? That's her pouting. What was I going to say? I was going to tell you, this four-wheeler here. Great bike, completely useless for me without these baskets. And really, I've just been lazy. I need to take a 2x4 and put across here to that. So there's no limiting bar on the front of this, right? And that means all the shit that I put in here is constantly sliding forward. And every day, something I'm having to rearrange, or as I'm on a hill, it slides down onto my back. One of those things, 5 minutes, I could take care of the problem, and I just haven't. But these baskets, and there's 100 companies that make baskets just like these things. They're the same baskets I have on 2 of the other four-wheelers also. One came from Amazon, and one came from this company, Storm Made. And the Storm Made finish is probably a little better. Copeland makes some that are really good. This is a generic Copeland basket here. Generic because it's just a generic size. You can get different heights, different depths. I specifically got this one back here with this step down, because you can put 5-gallon buckets. You can put 3 of them across in there, and they just sit down in that divot, and it's nice. All right, enough of that. I needed a bag of dog feed, and I needed a bag of chick starter. These chickens are well beyond the point of processing. At this point, we're just feeding them and making them bigger and more difficult to deal with. When you put food in there, they're like velociraptors, and they want to run up and grab you. Anyways, chick starters. I need to get inside, get a shower, put on clean clothes, and start my inside day. I was wondering how that kept getting open. Look at that, the dog is inside there. I think the dog is nosing that latch. I think she's using her muzzle to open that and getting in there and eating chicken feed. Because several times Amanda's been like, hey, you know, all those birds are out, and I couldn't figure out how that was happening. I try to contain them because I want them scratching up and fertilizing this area. I drag them twice a day. Get out of there. You know better than that. Out. Bad. And now that these guys have all, see, they're all hiding in the back here. Now that they've all eaten, these other ones don't want to come in. And my concern is the puppy around the turkeys. I don't really care about the other birds. I need to divide them into individual flocks. The way to get them in now is to leave them to where they are hungry enough. Once they get hungry, I'll open that up, throw feed in there, and they'll go running in there. Hear that turkey whistle? She won't eat much of it, and if I leave these chickens in here, they'll eat it. So I usually keep this kennel closed so that I can keep those chickens out. Put her right there, let her eat. Then every time I come up here, I do that. These dogs, if I give them kibble, they won't eat it. They nibble on it, but the chickens will eat most of it. Come here, girl. They're really good at stealing eggs. They eat a lot of eggs. Let's see if she'll eat any of this. You want that? Oh, Grumpy over there, she'll just sit it, and she won't eat it. And then she'll lay there for a few minutes and growl and bark at all the chickens. And then she'll get up and walk away, and the chickens will eat it all. Here comes the other one. I don't know, we'll see, maybe she'll eat something. She's just thinking that there's something she didn't get, but usually when I give it to her, she don't want it. Come here. Get it. Go ahead. Yeah, see? She'll nibble on it. I bet she doesn't eat it all though. See what I'm saying? That's expensive feed to be going to chickens. On the way in, I realized pigs. This one here is great. All right, enough of this. Man, that white sap out of those unripe figs is so sticky. It's like glue. Magnus. That swale's holding water there. It's got some water sitting in it. Everything's starting to grow.
Yeah, man, I'm talking about Willis, one of the realest to try. My family, SOE, got the tools to survive.